All right, so we will shortly be speaking with Ranking Member of the Defense and Interior Committee of Parliament, James Agala, for his thoughts on the setting up or the establishment of this commission. We're joined, as I indicated earlier, by the Ranking Member of the Defense and Interior Committee of Parliament, James Agala. Thank you very much, Mr. Agala, for joining us. Let's start with what you make of the conduct of the security operatives in the alleged brutalization of Caleb Kuda.
Well, Israel, I am very certain that the security operatives clearly acted with reckless abandon when they deployed 7 heavily armed men to storm CITI FM just to arrest Caleb Kuda for the, alleged offense committed when he filmed the vehicles at the premises of the National Security Council Secretariat. I use my words advisedly because I don't think that Caleb committed an offense when he merely filmed those abandoned vehicles at the presence of the National Security Council Secretariat. Be that as it may, Israel, the security operatives again violated our constitution when they tortured, they said, Caleb. Words of Caleb Kuda, he was beaten to pulp. He was asked questions about his ethnicity, etc. This shouldn't be happening in a democratic state such as ours. And so, all said and done, I think that nobody should owe the national security apparatus an apology like the GJA President has sought to do. I heard him say he's sorry, he apologized for the actions of Caleb Kuda. I think that is needless. When the man has been tortured, when he has been beaten, when a media outlet has been stormed in a Rambo style by national security operatives, we should be more concerned about the way and manner our security operatives are very willing to use brute force to harass and intimidate journalists at the least provocation. So I am scandalized, and I seriously would be moving our committee to get into action and deal with the issues. One important matter that has come up is the continuous stay of Superintendent Azugu, who is alleged to have led the operations of authorized sale at the National Security Council Secretariat. You would recall that the Short Commission of Inquiry clearly made findings to the effect and recommendation that they said Azugu be reassigned. That recommendation was accepted by government wide paper. But this recent happening, at the instance of the National Security Council operatives at CITI FM, it's a revelation to me that they said Azugu still remains at the National Security Council Secretariat, and once again is at the center of this whole debacle. So we would definitely have a lot of questions for instance, the Inspector General of Police, and by extension, the minister responsible for national security.
All right.
When we return to Parliament.
It's interesting that you're saying that you would want to take up this matter, but you have been Deputy Interior Minister before, and the conduct of the national security operatives is not new. This has been quite typical of them, would you say?
Well, Israel,
essentially, they were not behaving any differently when you were Deputy Interior Minister.
Well, so far as I am concerned, any time I received reports about the misconduct of security operatives, we acted. On a number of occasions, security operatives were dismissed for abusing the rights of suspects. A number of times, security operatives were interdicted to pave the way for investigations to be conducted with respect to their handling of suspects. So I definitely, yes, have served as Deputy Minister for the Interior before. I know sometimes security operatives would work outside the remit of the law and actually abuse the rights of citizens. But whenever such reports are brought to our attention, it is important that we act very swiftly in order to get those characters out of our security setup. It's very important. The way we respond and the time within which we respond is very crucial.
Do you think, or what form do you think the response should take? Because as I indicated, this is not new. This is something that has been happening over time.
This matter of a journalist, and you know, in recent times, the issue of journalists and media freedom have been a matter that has engaged our national discourse for quite some time now. And so the manner of abuse of Caleb Kuda clearly is something that should be given a lot of attention, not just because we think that journalists are special people, but the point is that we are in an era where the complaints are that media freedoms are being typed. Journalists are attacked because of the kind of work they do. And so this whole matter feeds into that perception that journalists are not given the freedom to go about their duties within the framework of our Constitution. And that is why I think that these matters ought to be given special attention.
Now, you indicate that you would want your committee to look at this issue of the brutalities and the conduct of, or misconduct of national security operatives. But Samson Ladi Ayenini is making the call for a commission or a committee to look at some of these incidents and enable Ghanaians or allow Ghanaians to come forward with their complaints. Is that something you'd want to support, or you'd want Parliament to take it up?
Well, the specific issue that is before us now has to do with the abuse of a journalist who was actually caught by the national security apparatus, you know, while attempting to ply his trade, I mean, so to speak, or work as a journalist by attempting to film or take videos of some abandoned vehicles for purposes of reporting on maybe recklessness within officialdom, etc., etc. And so, yes, whilst I don't rule out the proposals made by my friend Samson Ladi Ayenini, I also should think that this specific issue should be dealt with. We can deal with the broader issue of the abuse of citizens' rights whenever arrests are about to be effected. I mean, in a broader perspective. But the specific incident of the brutalization of Caleb Kuda should not go without answers. We need to deal with that very swiftly and bring to book those who may have been culpable in abusing him.
All right, thank you very much, James Agala. James Agala is the ranking member of the Defense and Interior Committee of Parliament. You're watching Joy News Prime.